The Titans lost when Randy Bullock's 49-yard field goal to tie with 15 seconds left in overtime fell short and wide of this goalpost, giving the Jets their first win of the season. But it was the mistakes and missed opportunities over the game's first 69 minutes and change that cost the Titans a chance at a third straight win and left them frustrated after the game.
We just weren't able to finish drives early in the game and kept them in it. Kicked 3 field goals and give up big plays on defense. Young football team, give them a reason to go out there and play and give them credit.
The Titans had the chance to take control of the game in the first half, but settled for 3 red zone field goals after a pair of sacks and a bad snap.
We should have executed more in the red zone. I think ultimately that was our biggest problem right there. A lot of 3 points. We needed the 6.
We have a very high expectation of ourselves and for this offense, and to go out there and not execute to our standard is disappointing.
The Titans defense was again victimized by big plays as the Jets went 77 yards in just 4 plays to tie the game, then took the lead the next possession on a 53-yard bomb to former Titan Corey Davis.
It's not surprising when we give up big plays. I think that's the overall theme of today for our defense was big plays. We're not going to make any excuses. We just didn't make the plays we need to make today.
Nobody wants to lose. Me, for sure. I hate losing. They made plays and we didn't.
They still had a shot after Cam Batson's touchdown forced overtime, and the Jets managed only a field goal on their drive. But this time, the Titans couldn't come up with the play to pull out a win.
Losing always hurts, no matter what. And just got to execute, not just in overtime, but throughout the whole game. When we get the opportunities,
just got to play better. Ain't looking for no excuses, pointing no fingers at nothing. Just got to play better.
It's a long season, and we have a lot of football in front of us, but have to be able to play consistent football week in and week out, no matter who's out there, which we've done at times, but not consistently.
The Titans now sit a disappointing 2-2, but star running back Derrick Henry insists everything's fixable, saying we just have to go back to work, practice better, hold everyone accountable, and come back ready to play next week. In East Rutherford, New Jersey, Steve Layman, News Channel 5 Sports.
We bring back Outkick 360's Jonathan Hutton for his keys to the game. Jay Hutt, we said it at the top of the show, Titans were missing a lot of key players, but the Jets were 0-3 with a struggling rookie quarterback. And if you fancy yourself to be a Super Bowl contender, this is a game the Titans needed to win.
Completely agree. Contenders lose games in this league, John, but real contenders don't lose to the bottom dwellers of the NFL. Solid teams go on the road against pushovers and handle their business. That's just as simple as I can make it. The Titans are not consistent enough to handle the 0-3 Jets, a team that scored more points today than their previous 3 games combined. And I expected the Titans to go and handle their business the same way Keith Bullock's Titans handled the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day in 2008. And the opposite happened. This was a week 4 failure that's going to come back to bite them towards the end of the year.
And in that first half, I felt like the Titans kind of let the Jets hang around. They had to settle for field goals instead of touchdowns.
And that's been a real problem to begin this part of the season for them. They were good in the red zone. And we know the Jets are good at defending the red zone, but the Titans offense to begin this season has not been good. They ranked 25th in the NFL for touchdown percentage in the red zone. They've reached the end zone only 7 of their last 16 trips inside the 20. And that's the #1 reason why they didn't leave New York 3-1, because the Jets were able to keep them to 3, and that gave them some life and some juice.
And give credit where it's due. Zach Wilson, I thought, was a coming out party for him today.
Yeah, I thought he played really well for the rookie. And look, he made some big-time throws. Ultimately won the game on 4 big plays, massive chunk plays. The 53-yarder touchdown to Corey Davis. Wilson found Cole for 54 yards on 3rd and 6, and that would end up giving the Jets their first lead of the entire season. He fumbled a snap and then scrambled and connected for 29 yards. Dane Cruikshank in that 4th quarter with the pass interference on Corey Davis. That moved the ball up 43 yards. Those are those big plays that the Titans offense didn't have that Zach Wilson made, and that's why the Jets won the game.
Good stuff, Hutton. More from you and Keith Bullock coming up a little bit later in the show.
Yeah, how about right now as those guys give us how the Titans bounce back from that this week, because it's going to be a challenge. This was a disappointing loss in a game that they should have won, and now they have another game where they're going to be a heavy favorite at Jacksonville this coming Sunday. Back to the boys now with their final analysis.
Vrabel was in a crabby mood last week after a win. What's it going to be like this week?
I can imagine this week is going to suck for the players, like, to be frank. At the end of the day, it's about getting wins. And when you play an 0-3 team and you don't get a win, you go back to the drawing board. But these players understand what Mike Vrabel expects for them, and I have no doubt about it that they get back to business next week.
Well, Jonathan, next week it's off to Jacksonville. The Jaguars played pretty well Thursday night in the loss in Cincy to the Bengals, and they always play the Titans tough.
They do, and they'll have 10 days rest. You're right, they played better against Cincy on Thursday, and while they may play the Titans tough, they have no answer for Derrick Henry. Who knows the injury situation at wide receiver? We know this game plan either way. It's another King Henry Sunday on the road against Jacksonville. Over the last 2 seasons, he's rushed for 502 yards on 87 carries against this franchise. They need him to be the man again.
No question about it. Former Titan Keith Bulluck, Jay Hutt from Outkick 360. Always great to have you fellas in studio. Thanks for the knowledge.
Thank you.